So if I'm understanding correctly, the purpose of this amendment is to make sure that in an emergency circumstance, if we have a hurricane, any kind of emergency that requires bending certain rules, right, for life, health, and safety reasons, that people will still have access to shelters. We just had a bill dealing with homeless people and being able to put them in a shelter. Funds and community supplies. We already know that we have a homeless problem, right? People who need someplace to be, some of whom are veterans. We've heard in committee about veterans having difficulty getting access to identification cards. And while we might want to figure out we're going to target a particular vulnerable population, I want to make sure that you're aware of the potentially unintended consequences. So now that you're on notice and you're aware, these consequences, as adverse as they may be, and may not be your target population, will have those consequences anyway, and will therefore be intended because we're making you aware of them, particularly as it relates to the homeless population and our veterans. Now, with that being the case, if you could answer this, because I suspect it's going to be an unfriendly amendment, in your close eventually, is why on earth would we want to make sure that these people, in a case of emergency, because in Florida, we know hurricanes are coming. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Why would we not want to make sure that they can access a shelter or have community supplies and sandbags and whatever else we decide are important for the public to have if all they have is a community ID? I would love to understand that. So with that, I'm going to encourage members to vote up on the amendment because we should care about everybody. And even if for whatever reason you decide you don't want to care about immigrants, you should at least care for the veterans. You should at least care for the homeless population that we claim that we want to help address. We should do that. And your bill captures all of these people. Intended or not, we're making sure that you're aware of it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.